No legs, no limits. The warrior's path. His name is Ethan Kane. When he was born, the doctors told his mother he would never walk. He had no legs. A rare condition took them before he even took his first breath. Most people saw a boy in a wheelchair. Ethan saw a future he refused to surrender.
School years. Ethan grew up in a small town where everyone knew everyone. From the first day of school, the stairs followed him like shadows. Kids called him half-man. Some laughed when he tried to play basketball from his chair. Teachers spoke to him slowly, like he was fragile. But Ethan had fire in his chest. In middle school, he joined the debate club. While other kids used their legs to run from responsibility, Ethan used his mind like a weapon. He won regional championships 3 years in a row. His voice became his legs. High school was harder. The bullying got crueler. One day, a group of boys tipped his wheelchair in the hallway. Ethan hit the floor hard. As they laughed, he looked up and said words that would follow him forever. "You took my balance for 5 seconds. I've been balancing my whole life. Try that." That same year, Ethan discovered adaptive sports. He started wheelchair basketball and later hand cycling. For the first time, he felt powerful. His body was different, but his will was unbreakable. By graduation, Ethan was not just surviving. He was leading. He gave the valedictorian speech sitting tall in his custom wheelchair, his voice steady. "They told me I would never stand on my own. So I learned to make the world stand with me."
The decision. After high school, everyone expected Ethan to go to college and get a safe desk job. He chose the Army. When he told his mother, she cried. "They'll destroy you, son." Ethan replied, "They can try." He applied. They rejected him. He applied again. Rejected. On his third attempt, a tough recruitment officer looked at him for a long time and said, "Kid, you've got balls. I'll give you that. But war doesn't care about heart. It cares about results." Ethan looked him dead in the eye. "Then let me show you results." After months of appeals and medical evaluations, Ethan was accepted into a special support and logistics unit that worked closely with combat teams. He wasn't going to be carrying a rifle on the front lines, but he was in.
Army life. The cold officers. Basic training was hell. The officers were exactly as people warned: strong, cold, and merciless. Captain Reyes was a mountain of a man, with a voice like gravel. He never smiled. On Ethan's first day, Reyes stood over him and said, "You're a liability. Prove me wrong, or get out of my army." Staff Sergeant Kane, no relation, was even colder. He pushed Ethan harder than anyone. While others ran, Ethan powered through obstacle courses with his arms and core, dragging his wheelchair through mud, doing hundreds of push-ups, and learning to shoot from a stabilized position. There were nights Ethan wanted to quit. His shoulders bled. His hands cracked. The phantom pain in his missing legs burned like fire. One brutal winter night during field exercises, the unit had to move through deep snow. The cold officers watched as Ethan struggled. Sergeant Kane stood silently as Ethan's wheelchair got stuck. Ethan screamed in frustration, tears freezing on his face. Kane walked over, looked down, and said, "Get up, Kane, or crawl."
But you will move. Ethan didn't get up. He crawled. 10 meters, 20,
30, dragging his body through ice and snow with pure willpower. When he reached the checkpoint, the entire platoon was silent. Captain Reyes stood waiting. For the first time, he gave the smallest nod. From that day, they still pushed him brutally, but something had changed. The cold officers began to respect the fire they saw. The turning point. 2 years later, during a critical training operation simulating hostage rescue, Ethan's logistics team came under surprise enemy fire in the exercise. Communication broke down. The forward team was cut off. Ethan, using his adapted vehicle and incredible knowledge of terrain he had studied for months, found an alternate route through difficult ground that no one thought possible for a wheelchair user. He delivered critical supplies and established a new communication line under heavy simulated fire. When the exercise ended, Captain Reyes walked up to him, covered in dust, and said, "You're not a liability, Kane. You're an asset. A damn good one." The good ending. Today, Ethan Kane is a decorated Sergeant First Class. He trains new soldiers in resilience and adaptive warfare tactics. Young recruits who think they can't do it look at him and find their excuses disappear. He married a strong woman who saw his heart before his wheelchair. They have a son, a curious boy who never once called his father disabled. Ethan still meets Captain Reyes sometimes. The old, cold officer now smiles, rarely, and always calls him my hardest soldier. Ethan often says in his motivational speeches, "I was born without legs, but I was never born without purpose. They tried to make me small. The world tried to make me quit. The army tried to break me. I turned every no into fuel. If I can do this with no legs, imagine what you can do with everything you've been given." Dedicated to every person fighting battles no one else can see. Like, share, and comment your own story of overcoming. End.